boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I want to invite you to enjoy a series of videos on cooking and exercise and nutrition. I will have videos of all three. This is the first video, or the introductory video, on knife skills and chef techniques and tips and techniques. And I'll be cutting some fruits, not fruits today, but vegetables, depending on how you think about it. A tomato is classified as a fruit. So I'll be cutting some fruits and vegetables today, some basic knife skills, and some tips and tricks that you can use. I'll start with the onion. Now, usually onions cause some crime and some mess, so I'm going to teach you a couple ways to deal with that so you don't have problems. You'll want to use a paring knife. Oh, that's what I should have said. There's only really three knives that you're going to need. A paring knife, some kind of a chef's knife. Now this is a full-size chef's knife. And some kind of a serrated knife. You see how the teeth are not that deep? This is not a bread knife. This is a serrated knife. Jagged, kind of jagged teeth. Now, a quick way to go through your onion is to start at one end, doesn't matter which end, and as you cut through, leave a little bit so you can pull and tear all the way through that first couple of layers. And then you slice through the end, and you pull and tear all the way through the other side. Then, of course, still using your paring knife, you can avoid crime, and you can peel off that outside layer that is pretty much useless. Now, so notice that, see, we're getting into the meat there. We don't want to get too deep into the meat, because if we get too far down the layers, we're just going to be wasting onion. But there you go. Now the outside is all gone. The part that's no good, we got rid of it. Let's see. Looks like there's a little bit of skin there hanging on, because the onion is not exactly the same thickness on all the way through. Notice I had to peel that. Now, the paring knife for this part is done. We'll put it back over here. This is where you want to use. Now, you want knife safety. Whenever you have something that can roll, you want to get a flat edge. So you want to get your knife on the board and then push down through whatever it is, whether it's an onion or if it's a potato or whatever it is. Now we have flat sides, there's nothing rolling around, you're nice and safe. Now, an easy way to cut through the onion without end up crying is kind of two ways. I'll show you both ways real quick. Is you cut through and you leave the back. See how it's still connected? You see a little bit, like a little bit in the back, you leave. Now that's one way, and you cut through. Now whether you cut it thin or if you cut it thicker, depending upon how much you want, whether you want it sliced, of course you'll just cut right through, and you turn, and then you just cut real small, and you get rid of that edge, and then you can just cut right through. And what right here, I would say this is a medium dice. Boom, just like that. You have a medium diced onion ready to go. And of course here we have some sliced onion. You can always just take that. Now notice I have the claw of my hand. I make a claw and the knife is right there on my fingers, because if the knife is on my fingers, it cannot cut my fingers. So I can just hold on to and kind of control the food, and I can slice through, keeping that claw, keeping my fingertips safe, and just push the food off. Now, pick your cutting board up, bring it over to your bowl, and slide it in. Now, real quick about the cutting board, notice I have this nice thin cutting board. It really doesn't matter. There's many kinds of cutting boards. You can use a thin one like this, or you can use the big special ones that are thick. They can be wood, they can be NSF, which is National Safety Foundation. They can be easily cleaned, but here's the trick. Underneath, I have a paper towel. Now you are welcome to use what's called kitchen towels, or you can use a washcloth, and you same thing, you get it damp, and you put it underneath your cutting board, and then when you put your cutting board down, it's stuck, it doesn't move around. All right, I'll show you one more way to do this, is you just cut through all the way with some of the onion, and then you can lay the onion down, and same thing, you got your safety claw, and you just cut through, like that. Notice that knife is still touching the board, and it's still touching my fingers. So I have a nice, safe slice. put this back over here with all the fruits and vegetables. And again, an easy way to do this is you pick up your board and you just slide it into your mixing bowl or whatever it is that you're going to put your food into.